Hello there. This is what I've been looking forward to for a while. It would have been rude as well not to bring through this Revan figure as well, the 30th anniversary one. We'll look at that later. But I don't know what it is about Revan, man. Everybody loves Revan because he just looks so good, doesn't he? Even if you don't know who he is or where he's from, the Knights of the Old Republic, you can't help but be pulled in by, you know, that hardcore look, man. The Mandalorian mask style-y. I don't know, man. The purple lightsaber, the red lightsaber. Brilliant. That's one thing that this figure always missed. You see, he never came with a purple lightsaber, this one. But I have put several different purple lightsabers in the hands of this 30th anniversary figure. And the one that he's holding now, it actually belongs to Mara Jade. But I have put Mace Windu lightsabers in his hand. I've put a Sasetin purple lightsaber in his hand, because I think one of those figures came with a purple. But now Hasbro have given you both red and purple, which is great. So I have one to open as well. And the one I'm opening is this one. I just noticed it had, they're both in really good condition, but this one has a little bit of that horrible press damage. Can you see it there? How they've been packed in the box, basically. And there's a bit more at the bottom there. God, there it is. Can you see it? It's tiny, isn't it? Let's just get him open. This is like history in the making, opening him. This is like such a key character in the history of 3 3/4 inch Star Wars. Not only was this guy so hard to get hold of and expensive, but they've gone there and they've done him now properly in 3 3/4 inch. Something we have been teased with and anticipated and asked for many years, and now we have it. And they have really delivered. I'll talk about the card back and everything later, but the figure, you just know it's going to be amazing. So without any further ado, let me get him open. And on first inspection, it's funny that in the packaging, it's hard to see what's going on because he's got the hard goods over him. And in this case, his head, just from how he's been put in from the factory, is tilted up. The one I've got there, his head is almost like looking to our left, his right, cocked, going down a bit. It's funny. Some figures are like that. I've got a Kit Fisto on the wall. See him, look at that. That one's been packaged and his head's sort of like looking that way. It's funny. Look at this figure, man. What can I say other than I did buy an entire wave of Black Series 6-inch figures only because it came with a Revan, and I've sold them all since. You know, that's ridiculous. Back in 2017, we couldn't get any vintage collection. 3 3/4 inch was dead. So I ended up buying these 6-inch figures just to get hold of Revan. But look at this. Here we are, some 6 years later, or 7 years, going on 7. And we have got the real deal for ourselves. Now, I wonder which he holds in left or right. Or maybe he doesn't mind. But since that was on the left, I've got that in his left. And this purple is on his right. And immediately, I haven't even put him on a stand. I'm just thinking, this is just awesome. What I'd like to see is more of his face, though. So I'm going to have to just adjust this a bit. I'm going to take that off and see what it looks like. Wow. I mean, look at that. That looks cool. When you took this guy's hood off, it looked weird. He had that white top there. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be his scalp. No, it's not. It just looked a bit kind of... Still pretty cool, but when Kylo Ren hit the screen, though, in that trailer, you know, when he does the Force, when he stops Poe Dameron's blaster fire, I remember freaking out. I thought, my God, that's Darth Revan. It wasn't. It was Kylo Ren. I'd never even heard the name Kylo Ren when I saw that trailer, and I was... Anyway, but... Sorry, my point there of mentioning Kylo Ren was this design for this 30th anniversary is different from the other designs of Revan that you see. This one looks very much like the mask they came up with for Kylo Ren. The visor, the mouthpiece. Whereas my interpretation of Revan for years has always been that right across visor. Something to do with Mandalorian culture. I need to read up again on Revan, but I picked that up years ago. Something to do with the Mandalorian Wars or something. ultimately they turned to the dark side, Malak and Revan, to gain greater power, just to win the war. Sounds a bit like Anakin Skywalker. He just wanted to win, didn't he? I mean, you got that message in Ahsoka, actually. You could see him, that bit when he walks off from Ahsoka, you know, and he says, come on, we're going. And all the clones follow him, and then you get that flash of lightning, and you see him turn to Vader in a split second, and then back to Anakin. That's just him. That's what this guy's like. Get rid of the shackles of the Jedi and use your power to win. Oh, I haven't even put him on the turntable, but I just thought I'd stop everything and we can have a look at the figure. So the hard goods, what do you think about that? It's quite restrictive. It domes over and covers more than I'd wish. But I still think it looks cool, and I'm a big advocate for hard goods when they're done well like that, especially for hoods. I always liked the Darth Sidious hood that they did for the Darth Sidious in the Phantom Menace. Where's he? Oh yeah, he's right up there. Yeah, that's great. I like that. Lots of people don't like it, but silhouetted, it's perfect. And I like this one. You've got the soft goods at the bottom there, the tatty, ragged, kind of oh yeah, the material on the outside of that feels quite nice, quite smooth. Looks like one of the older fabrics they've used before, but it's still nice. It folds well. And these are nice finishes now. These gauntlets are looking good. Kind of carbonized look. And, you know, he always had that colour and that sort of style there, didn't he? Look at that. There's lots of aspects of the costume that have carried over here. The buckles and everything, but this one just looks like the Revan I always remember seeing in the majority of images. I'm going to try and do some arrangements now. I want to see more of his helmet. Oh, I tell you what we might be able to do now. Aha! Now he's got that double jointed articulation, so you can jut his head forward like that. Can you see that pigeon effect? Back and forth. Let me just pull this off and we'll have a look. Ah! Yeah, he's got that barbell thing going on there, so it helps you jut the head forward a bit. So if I jut it forward like that, I'm going to pan down so you can see the light coming down towards him. Yeah, you can fiddle around with it, so you've got a bit more, you can see more of the forehead there, which is good. It's only because he was shadowed. I've got the light above him, but now, see, I've got that light up there. But now if I pan down to the floor, you can see what you can see of the forehead, which is more than we could before. It's not bad. I'm liking it. I'm sure there's room for a bit of customization for a soft hood, I guess. I don't know. He still looks pretty cool just like that, man, doesn't he? Look at that. I need to see more of how he looked in the series. Did he have his hood down? Like, it's only a cloak at the end of the day. You know, like all Jedi / Sith have their hood up or down, so I presume he would just look like that when he didn't have the hood up, like Kylo Ren, which he looked like a kind of like a German army look to Kylo Ren in Force Awakens when he was walking around the base. Do you remember the back of his helmet? He had that kind of thing that was reminiscent of the German military, but he looks great, doesn't he? What have we got going around here? Look at that, buckles on the back there. I'm assuming this gentleman has, God, might not be able to stretch his legs out because of the soft goods, but he should have ball jointed. Yeah, he has. Look at that pose. All right, man. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Very happy indeed. The peg holes, I think I did try them before. They're very shallow. As long as I can get him standing on him. Yeah, that'll do. I'll get him on the turntable in a minute. Let's put this back on. Let's just have a look at the card back. And I was always dubious about the idea of having multiple fonts and logos and emblems in the vintage collection, but I think I'm sold on it now. As long as they're all red like that, I'll be happy. But look at it, I love that. I like it. Oh, let me just quickly insert in here. I forgot to film the back of the card. And again, like I discussed with Harris and Dula, this shouldn't be on the back. What you should have on the back here is this. and his card back. You know what I mean? That should be on the back, just like the history lessons we've had previously. And if I refer to you again to one of these specimens, look at that, you see. Sometimes they got these wrong, in fact, but there you go. That's almost correct for, yeah, it is. Well, that kind of corresponds to the duel with Anakin on Mustafar, doesn't it? That figure there. But, you know, they always showed you the first release of that interpretation of the character. And if it didn't exist, they did something like that on the back. You see, they did that back because they didn't have an example of a Luke Dagobah landing before. They've obviously done Luke pilots before, but not for that specific section of the film. So I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Only they could tell you that. So anyway, let's have a quick look at him in the... this is just all over the place, this video. I'm just pointing and pressing and seeing it as it comes. There is Revan. Some people pronounce it Revan, don't they? Darth Revan. It's Revan, isn't it? Look at him. What a badass. It's a lovely solid blade as well for the lightsaber. It's a strong colour. So that I appreciate. We'll come back to the figure loose in a minute. But look at this card back, by the way. Red pill. Would you have it any other way? No. You'd be crazy not to. You've got Darth Vader on a red pill. I dare say you've got... Where is he? Darth Maul must be red. No, he's not. He's blue. He's up there, but it works for him, doesn't it? Because he himself is red and stuff. So that was a good choice. This is great. I love this card back. Darth Revan, name pill. The background is fascinating. And you know what? I'm getting flashbacks now, just before The Force Awakens, how excited I was for that film, because at that time, there wasn't any Star Wars films out or anything. So I think I was binge watching videos from the Old Republic and stuff like that, and all those computer games and stuff, and then wanting and collecting figures like Darth Revan and other Sith Lords. That background there is what was filling my imagination back in those days. And The Force Awakens did do it for me, man, at the time. I loved it and stuff. But, you know, since we've seen a lot of Star Wars on the screen, which has been great, but it's now quenched my thirst that used to be in my imagination. And this card back here takes me back to that time before we saw so much on the screen. It's going to move him just to give him one final shot as he spins. It's funny that of late I've not been filming the figures on this turntable because I've literally been opening them on the fly, and hence I've been filming them off this turntable. But usually I've had the figure open for a while and I'm just sort of appraising the car back, and then I'll look at the figure already set up. But anyway, it's good to just close the video now by showing him rotating, get a good look at all his angles. But he's awesome. Very impressed with that. The only gripe I'd say would be probably the hood's covers a little bit more than I'd like. If they kind of made it so we could see a bit more of the forehead. It's still cool, man. I'm happy enough with that. Let me put it this way. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching that. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you like this figure. Let me know what your thoughts are on the figure. Alright, thanks for watching this video indeed. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only One. Out.